also don't want to deal with the whining and the tears of not getting their way.
Kim Kardashian is being criticized for her parenting yet again because of the ridiculous complaints she recently made about her kids on the Kardashians.
No, I was tortured.
But this isn't the first time that she's made it clear that she doesn't actually like being a mother. Over the years, it's become increasingly obvious that Kim doesn't really want to be a present, involved mom. The reasons why countless people are convinced that she absolutely hates parenting are honestly unbelievable, so let's break them down. In one of the latest episodes of The Kardashians, Kim talked about her children in a pretty harsh way. According to HuffPost, she opened up to her mom about how awful her most recent birthday had been and blamed it all on the fact that she had spent it with her kids. Kim revealed to Kris that she had wanted to be by herself on her birthday, but was stuck doing everything that her children wanted to do instead. She complained that she had to watch YouTube videos that she wasn't interested in, and then her kids forced her to play a video game soccer tournament with them. Next, Kim whined that her children made her go to Color Me Mine, where they created and decorated their own pottery pieces. She said to her mom that she should have sat her kids down and told them that no mother wants to make ugly crafts on her birthday. Kim even explained that spending the day with them was basically a form of brutal punishment. Not surprisingly, many viewers took to social media to discuss Kim's cold remarks. The majority of them agreed that her complaints about being with her children on her birthday were unnecessary and bizarre. Even if the activities they did weren't Kim's favorite, the fact that she claimed that her kids had ruined her birthday was extremely hurtful. Several people pointed out that although they understood that Kim wanted the day to herself, as a parent, that isn't always an option. And despite how relatable it might have been that her ideal plans hadn't involved making crafts or watching YouTube, how she spoke about her children, especially considering her privileged lifestyle, was truly outrageous. Kim made it sound like she never has the chance to do what she wants to do. But in reality, she has always prioritized herself and her career over her kids. She's constantly traveling, and her life is full of special, extravagant opportunities that most people can only dream of. For years, Kim has talked about how busy she is with work and how her schedule is so chaotic. However, she could easily decide to cut back on the amount of time she spends working, since she definitely isn't hurting for money. But she still chooses to accept almost every job she's offered and has tried to justify that in a seriously ridiculous way. BuzzFeed reported that in a season 4 episode of The Kardashians, Kim's work schedule was so packed that she was struggling with memory lapses from a lack of sleep. But when Kris asked her why she had been taking on so many job opportunities, her response was so crazy.
I said no to someone and they stopped speaking to me.
Even Kris, Kim's mom and money-hungry manager, didn't seem to understand why that was such a big deal.
Oh, well, thank God.
Really...
Why don't you send a thank you note?
Apparently, Kim would rather continue taking on non-essential jobs and barely ever see her children than risk losing a potential business connection. But what's really sad for her kids is that she doesn't seem to care at all that she's intentionally being an absent mother. Kim's kids are so used to her being gone that when she called North and Saint during one of her work trips, they both ended up hanging up on her.
I mean, my kids could care less that I'm gone, are having the time of their life.
But let's be real. At this point, her children have basically been raised by nannies. According to what a source told Life and Style, Kim usually spends at least 14 to 16 hours a day outside of the home, and she relies heavily on a team of hired help to take care of her kids. The insider claimed that Kim has a minimum of 4 nannies working at a time, and sometimes has as many as 6. But even though she tries to make it seem like she's still able to balance her hectic work life with being a mother, that isn't exactly the case. Kim regularly talks about how difficult it is to be a single parent of 4 kids, but she supposedly doesn't even make time to see them every day. Sources told the U.S. Sun that she tries to spend quality time with her children by setting aside 15 minutes a day for each of them, but that doesn't always happen for a truly insane reason. Allegedly, Kim is occasionally too busy with work to hang out with her kids at all. But it's not like she has a job where people's lives are on the line, so it's extremely telling that she can't even commit to bonding with her children for 15 minutes. The fact that Kim is almost never home with her children makes her recent complaints about spending her birthday with them even more heartbreaking. They probably loved being able to finally spend some quality time with her, so when they inevitably see the clip of her saying that she hated it and that they ruined her birthday, they're going to be crushed. It's not hard to see that Kim prioritizes her career over her children, but even when she's home, it's clear that she doesn't want to actively parent them. In one of the latest episodes of the family show, she opened up about one part of motherhood that she finds particularly challenging.
I have a hard time just saying no is no.
On several different occasions, she's admitted that she really struggles with disciplining her kids and wishes that she could be more strict. But during that same episode, she explained why that's so difficult for her, and her reasoning why was pretty bizarre.
I think I also don't want to deal with the whining and the tears of not getting their way.
Of course, it's easier to just give in and let her kids have whatever they want, but that's not necessarily in their best interest. Kim has been called out many times for allowing her children to be disrespectful, but it's obvious that she doesn't want to actually put in the effort to change that. Kim isn't doing her children any favors by letting them do whatever they want. But apparently, she's not concerned about how that's going to affect them in the future. When it comes to parenting, the only thing she really seems to worry about is whether or not there's a camera around. According to The Sun, in May, Kim and Saint were seen arriving at his school for one of his soccer games. Interestingly, as soon as she saw there was a group of paparazzi nearby, she quickly got closer to him and put her arm around his shoulders. It was very telling that Kim looked directly at the photographers before she began showing her son any affection, and many people online criticized her performative parenting. But even during interviews, the way she describes her experience as a mom is seriously unbelievable. In May 2023, Kim made a guest appearance on an episode of Jay Shetty's On Purpose podcast. But anytime she talked about her kids, she would say something negative. She claimed that having to raise her kids while also taking care of the house as a single mom was extremely chaotic and challenging.
There are nights I cry myself to sleep, like, what just happened?
At one point, Kim even complained about how overwhelmed her kids made her feel because they always need something from her. But keep in mind, she has a team of nannies, plus housekeepers, private chefs, tutors, and resources that most parents don't have access to. Not to mention, she's constantly working and traveling, so she's barely ever at home with them. The majority of the parenting that she does is all for show and is usually a crazy exaggeration anyway. In the most recent season of The Kardashians, the difference between Kim and Khloe's parenting styles is on full display. Based on the previews for upcoming episodes, Kim judges her sister for wanting to stay home with her kids so often and argues that Khloe isn't really living because she spends too much time with her children. However, Khloe appears to actually have a healthy bond with both of her kids. On the other hand, Kim doesn't seem maternal at all and doesn't seem to have a strong connection with any of her children. But her lack of relationships with her kids is nobody's fault but her own, because she clearly doesn't like being a mom and doesn't want to actively parent them. Between prioritizing work over her children, her lack of interest or involvement in their lives, and her cruel complaints about them, it's obvious that Kim can't stand being a mother. But now that we've gotten into how much she hates parenting, I want to know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on Kim saying that her kids ruined her birthday and that she was stuck doing things with them that she didn't want to do? What do you think about her judging Khloe for wanting to spend her free time at home with her kids? Let me know in the comments below.